Welcome back to Mom Sips and Tips. I'm Julia.
I'm Maggie.
And this is our friend Jessica, and we're here to give you some tips and sip on our Moscow mules today. Peach again.
Cheers.
We're addicted.
Cheers to
yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Today we're going to talk about Jessica has a daughter from a previous marriage, and she has her 100% of the time. And you said it's been that arrangement.
All three of them. Yeah.
Okay, since you've had them. So tell us your story.
So I have a 14-year-old daughter, a 10-year-old son, and a 4-year-old daughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Right. Yes. Teenagers are fun.
Yeah, they are. I'm not there yet. Ha
Wait till you get 3.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
What are some tips that you can give to moms who maybe have a partner that's not present after their baby is born or later on through? They kind of tell us
Where they're more full-time single parent.
Yeah.
Day by day, just take it day by day, and you have to have time for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, or you'll go crazy.
How do you get that?
Put them to bed as early as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Set the microwave to 8 o'clock when it's
Yes,
6.
yes. No, that and a great support system.
Mm-hmm.
My mom helped me after the divorce, and that was great. Adam helps a lot with the kids now.
Yeah.
The 14-year-old was a big, big help. Like, she would watch them so I can take a 20-minute shower and, take a breath.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. So a good support system, and just knowing that it's okay.
Okay.
You don't have to be perfect at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So self-care is like a big buzzword, especially like that's my
Yes.
big thing when I'm helping moms, and a lot of people, self-care looks like spa days and pedicures and manicures. Like for me, it's walking through the forest or going out on my kayak. Like what for you is self-care that makes you feel like you're revived, rejuvenated, and refreshed to do it all again?
To do it all again. Well, a shower without kids coming in.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big one. Binging Netflix.
Oh.
Like, when they go to sleep or when I have a minute, just turning my brain off and watching whatever to get a break.
What's your favorite?
Gosh, I like a random amount. Like, I like documentaries, I like true crime stuff, I like, sci-fi stuff, whatever.
I'm a decade late into Vampire Diaries.
Oh yeah, my daughter's into that right now.
Yeah, well, I told you that. I watched the
it all
originals
again.
first, and then
Yeah.
I watched the one with the kids later.
Legacy.
I'm watching them all out of order, and now I'm watching the Vampire, and I see all the stuff that connects them, and I'm like, oh,
Now
it
you
all
get it.
makes sense now. I'm like,
Yep.
it's cool. I don't know. I'm obsessed.
That's
oddly.
a good one.
Yeah.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
I've seen it a few times.
So what other tips or what things have you learned from some of your struggles as a single mom?
Like for the kids or for myself?
Either. That makes life
Yeah.
easier.
Well, in the beginning, I thought I had to be strong and not show them my emotions about going through everything. But, because we've all been in therapy this whole time.
That's great.
Yeah. The kids are in therapy. I've kept them in it. They're going on 4.5 years now. So that was a big thing, showing them that life looks different seasons, and it's okay to struggle with your emotions. It's just how you process them and how you deal with them at the end of the day. You don't have to keep it all bottled in. So
Right.
that was a struggle to not always be, I don't know, what's the word?
The rock.
Yes, yes, the rock. So it's okay to show your emotions with them and let them know that things are going to be hard.
Yeah. I think that's good though, because it gives, I think the more you can teach your kids that, as far as, like you said, feeling different things is okay and how to react to certain situations,
Yes.
I think all that stuff is a teachable moment for sure, instead of, like, another one is like fighting in front of your kids. I mean,
Yeah.
not that you should do it all the time, but
How to do it.
Yeah, we
How
make
to
sure
do
to
it.
always apologize to each other in front of my son
Yes.
and give each other a hug, and I'll be like, do you forgive me? So that to ask for forgiveness. And sometimes you don't, sometimes you say no, and you're like, no, I need 10 more minutes or
Yeah,
something.
you
I've
need
done
a
that
break.
before. I'm like, I need 10 more minutes, then I'll forgive you.
Yeah.
So we do that.
Yeah, you need a break.
Yeah.
That's good. What are some of the things that you've struggled with as a single mom? Maybe that you think that moms with partners have not had to struggle with?
Doing it all yourself, being the disciplinarian, being the fun parent, 24/7, doing it all by yourself. Whereas other parents that have both partners helping, you can get a break. You can be good cop, bad cop. You're, it's not always me being mean mom.
Yeah.
That one's hard, but
You get to be fun mom too.
sometimes, yeah. More now.
Yeah.
More now than before.
Yeah.
But like I think we were talking earlier, like sometimes the part-time parent gets to be the 100% fun parent.
Yes.
Like there's never do the chores, clean your room.
Mm-hmm. Your grades are failing, so you have no phone.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Yeah, so now I'm starting to be a little bit more of where I get to have fun with them more. But yeah, more of the disciplinarian always.
Oh, it's part of it. It's not fun, not the fun part.
Yeah, no,
But-
it's not. And I let them know, because especially the teenager, she's at that age where she's finding her independence. And so you argue a lot, especially a girl.
Yep.
I let her know at the end of the day, I still love you. We're going to argue. I don't want that to come between our relationship, but there's still consequences.
Yeah.
And we'll still have fun.
Has she been good about understanding that?
Yeah, yes, yeah. She's an old soul, so she understands
She
things
does seem
more.
very mature. I've met her a couple of times. She's
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, she is. Yeah, she understands, and she helps out with being a better example for the kids, like making sure that the younger ones, that they know how to listen or try
Yeah.
to listen.
No, it's good.
And help how they can at their age. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, are they aware as far as with their father's situation? I mean, are they aware of how y'all's situation is, or are
Yes.
they kind of just like, this is how my life has always been, or?
I have always been the more, even before the divorce, I've always been more of the disciplinarian, more of the 100% hands-on. So they're used to that, but no, they know the situation. They know, they lived through
Yeah.
it, so they
Do they ask
know.
a lot of questions, and how do you kind of I mean, what are some of the, if you
Yeah,
have
no,
you
that's
had
fine.
any, have they asked you any like tough questions yet?
Oh yes, yeah. They've asked me plenty of tough questions. Like my ex-husband, he struggled with addiction, and now he's been through recovery and doing better.
Oh, awesome.
So they are aware of that. But we had those discussions in therapy with their therapist, so that way I didn't misconstrue or not say the wrong thing, but not say it in the right way.
Right.
For them to understand at their age level whenever it all first happened.
Yeah.
So they're very well aware of it, and they understand.
How do they feel about dad having another family that he's full-time with?
That is very hard for them, especially my son, because he's the only boy.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
he's always idolized his daddy, which most boys do. But that has been very hard for him to process. And so he's starting to come around a little bit, but they're seeing it as I've tried to explain to them that it's just their new normal.
Yeah.
It's okay to have it's the new sister,
Yeah.
because it is, and they do have step siblings now, and it's just a different life than what they pictured.
Yeah.
It's a new season,
Yeah.
and
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like that.
I mean, my kids were 1 week at their dad's house where they had a stepmom and they had 3 stepbrothers.
Oh,
And then at my house, every other week, they're at my house where it was just the 3 of us. And so yeah, I identify with some of the stuff you're saying with like having to be 100% the disciplinarian. I mean, yes, they had a very active dad and stepmom,
Yeah.
but like when they were at my house, they were not active over at my house.
Right,
Yeah.
they
So
were
it
still
was
there.
just me, yeah. And the difference from one house to the next. And the boys, they got to stay at the other house like 100% of the time. And so it's, yeah.
The steps that, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's,
Yeah. And
that's
different
different.
rules at different homes. And
Is it hard for them to kind of to go back and forth with different rules and going in with other kids, or is it because it's been going on so long now that it's
right.
just,
Well, he recently got married in January. They don't do overnights yet.
oh, okay.
So, and he lives in Columbus. So
Oh,
he
it's a
comes
drive.
down here and gets them for the day. Like they just met one of the stepbrothers a couple weeks ago. And so that was, he's my son's age. So that was, it was different for
Yeah.
him because he wasn't expecting it. But I think he's coming around to it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the new wife, the stepmom, she's great.
Yeah.
But she's pregnant, so it's making it easier that she's pregnant for them to come around to it because you know it takes 9 months to grow a baby.
Yeah, so they've got some time to kind of
Yeah, they got
process
some
that.
time. Like Maddie's super excited, which is awesome.
that's neat.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they, when they come home from visiting dad, do they act out at all? Is there like a calming down and
A debriefing?
yes period?
Oh,
Yes.
debriefing.
'Cause ours
That's
was
so
the first day
good.
back home to my house.
Yeah. Now for my son, because the divorce hit him the hardest. He was 6 when we first got divorced, and he's about to be 11 in June. So it hit him the hardest. For him, yes, there is definitely debriefing, an adjustment.
Do you think that's a guy thing, or do you think that's just?
I think it's a kid thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Maddie, she's so easygoing, you know? She's just like, oh, we had fun. This is what we did. And
She's
you know, she
very
talks-
fun-loving,
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, she talks about the new baby sister and everything. So there's really no debriefing. Caitlin, the oldest, she's 14. She understands everything. She's excited, but there's no debriefing. For Caleb, yes. He always gets super anxious right beforehand. And then when he comes back, it's like the next day, his attitude changes, his behavior changes, and then he's right back to it.
Yeah.
He's right back to normal.
I think that's
Caleb.
just because he's processing like emotions and.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. He's learning how to. He's been working on how to process his emotions regarding like his father and the divorce and the new family and all that. So
Yeah.
it takes a minute.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, they're so pretty. No, they're pretty. I wish my eyebrows had those nice hairs in them. They don't.
I still haven't dealt with the holes in my eyebrows.
You
I
really
know.
got them done.
They look really. That's why I keep creeping. I'm like, it's like such a nice line right there. I was like,
I went
ooh.
to Brow Thread and Wax in Noonan, and they tinted.
Nice.
Yeah, me and
Good
Caitlin did
job.
that together.
I know.
the
Sorry,
other
I'm
day.
not like just being a creep, but I'm like,
And
It's
now
awesome.
with my new eyes and my magnifying mirror, I have white eyebrows.
Your new eyes.
I have a couple
I
too.
just got counted.
Don't feel bad. I have some white eyelashes now too, which is annoying. Yeah,
That's what
I
my
don't
spirit's
I've been-
for.
have those, but I've got a lot of
I've been
white
graying
eyebrows.
from an early age.
They tint them.
They do.
That's what they did for me.
Actually, I can get you some professional stuff if you want to do it at home.
Ooh.
I got you if you're gonna do it.
I don't know. It's kind of dangerous. I do a lot of things on my own.
Oh, right?
Oh yeah, maybe
It's
not.
kind of a joke.
I was gonna say because you have to take them off at a certain, otherwise they like get progressively darker. I made
What
that
is
mistake
it?
once. It's just like made for your eyebrows.
Oh.
Sorry, we derailed.
Sidebar.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself.
How do you manage things as a single mom? Like, I'm assuming that you work
Oh, full time, yeah.
and you've got 3 kids and they probably get sick occasionally.
Yes. Yeah.
How your mom's close enough to help you? Does your mom? I mean, like, how do you do that? And how does your job handle you taking off?
My job is amazing.
That is good.
Yeah.
I don't hear that enough,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
No, I love my job. I'm a property manager of a senior apartment complex.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so my job's very flexible, which is awesome. And my bosses are great. So they've always worked with me. But I also I can work from home if I need to, if my kids are super sick. Like when I had the flu, I was able to work from home and
That's nice.
you know, kids ended up getting it, so they stayed home with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Nice. I missed like 35 days of work one year because my son got sick that many times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
As a single mom with, you know, other parents that were not
They can alternate.
willing to take
Yes. Yes.
turns. I had 35 days off of work, so I actually had to go on like FMLA,
Yeah.
so that I could take that intermittent time off.
What's that?
But that's nice. It's federal like leave.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like family medical leave.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
If
So,
needed.
so that I could, as a single mom, take some of that time off when they were sick. But that's nice that you have a job that is
Yeah.
super flexible with that.
Yeah. Before I did not. They were not so, but it was a different type of business. So you kind of had to be there. But yeah, and then I had 6 kids then because I had my brother's kids.
Oh, you told me that.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
had
lot
my
of
brother's kids for a while, and so this whole new child, it's great. Like now I have just my 3, and then he's doing amazing, and he has his 3.
He's
but-
nice.
He is. He's doing great. So then I had all 6 and was taking all of them to the doctors and.
You're like
therapy.
Superwoman. I have 1, and some days I'm like,
Once you have 2, you may as well have 6.
Right? You just.
that's what everyone
What's
tells me. Once
another
you get
one?
multiple, and they just start helping, you know,
Yeah.
each other.
Someone did
and-
tell me I lied when they actually had 2. No, it's not.
Oh, I think 50-50 on that. As far as some people
Yeah.
are like, oh, it's the same, if not a little easier, and some people are like, oh, it was way harder than having the first one. But
It is.
Yeah, I think Maddie's just her own spirit animal.
she's so fun.
She is. She's great. But I think adding her into the mix because she was my surprise blessing, has definitely made things interesting. Yeah. Because I thought, you know, Caleb's 10 now and she's 4 and Caitlin's 14. I was like, they won't argue. No, they argue.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You've
yeah.
got like a bunch of first children, first son, first
Yes.
daughter, and then later first daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dynamic. I don't know a lot about it, but
Yeah.
just the ages and the mix of the way they are.
Yeah, it's all first, and so
You've got the youngest, the oldest,
The middle.
I mean,
That's the only boy.
They literally take on all of them. Yeah.
yeah, they do. Yeah, and next year, or when school starts in August, it's going to be first day of high school, first day of middle school, and first day of pre-K.
Oh my goodness.
I'll pray for you, sister.
Yes, please do.
Whoa, that's a lot of hard ones. Now, when you had Maddie, because there's a big age difference between her and your
Yeah.
first daughter, as far as trying to parent 100%, do you feel like you handled it differently, having already had done it once and you were a little bit older? Because I know you had your daughter when you were 19.
Yeah, yeah. I grew, obviously. I mean, growing from 19 to 30, it was easier with Maddie. There wasn't as much struggles as far as life struggles. I mean, I still did both of them basically on my own, but I was more confident in myself on
That's cool.
what I knew I could do, you know,
Yeah.
and what to expect.
More mature.
Yeah.
A little bit of growth. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
You've
more
done-
stable.
Done it before.
Yeah, been there, done it.
Got a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about like going to like school functions or baseball games, or do your kids do any of that? And is there like co-parenting in that place? Like, I remember like I
School?
sat on one side of the room and they sat on the other
Oh,
side of the
really?
room, and it kind of created a thing for the kids. It's like, oh, now who do I
Yeah,
go
it
sit
makes them
with?
feel right.
That's awkward.
So we had to
Right.
learn to kind of gather.
Be civil and
Yeah.
yeah. School functions not so much because he lives in Columbus and
It's hard for him to come
yeah,
to.
yeah. He has a job there, so that's kind of hard for him to come to for school functions. Baseball he comes to when he's not working, if he can.
Yeah.
And that's been more recently. So it works. I mean, we're not hostile to each other. I've always tried to be very civil, very kind and open, especially in front of the kids, because I don't want them to see, oh, mom's bitter, or mom's mad, or feel that awkwardness or feel the tension that they don't know who to go sit to or sit with. So I've always just been, you know, it's okay. You can see the other kids here while he's playing baseball and have fun and, you know, run back and forth. But
That's good. Now, do you try when you're just with your kids, as far as the verbiage that you use when you're talking about their dad, do you try and keep that? I mean, I'm sure I know
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes when you are mad at somebody.
Yeah.
And, but do you try and keep the verbiage and how you talk about him more
Oh, yes.
positive? Okay.
Yeah. I've always tried to keep it positive, especially, like I said, Caleb's had the hardest time. So he's always had more negative things because he didn't know how to process it. But I've always set him straight, like, no, that's your dad. People have struggles, and it's how you get over them, and he's changed, so things are going to be different, and you just have to be open-minded about it. And my big thing is watch actions, so I tell him, just watch. If you don't believe what people are saying, then just watch.
It's very wise, actually, for
Yeah.
any situation in life.
Yeah. So I'm really big on keeping promises to the kids that I make them. I try and if I can't, I tell them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That
Something
was a
came
rude
up.
awakening for me.
Yes.
My son one day said, "You always promise things and we never do it." And like from that time on, it was like I made every effort to do
'cause
everything.
they will
I
hold you
promised.
accountable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aw.
Yeah.
And maybe just means no.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was very like yes or no after that, because they do listen.
And they take maybe or we'll see as yes.
And they notice.
I used to take maybe as a yes. I'm like, oh, you didn't say no, so there's a
That means
chance.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about your feelings as far as like when you see dad with the other family? Do you have any feelings that come up?
What
Or are you
type of-
kind of like,
You
not a
know,
big deal?
I mean, in the beginning, when I first found out that he was dating, because it was like a month after he got out of rehab, I was very adamant that he needs to rebuild a relationship with the children first. And he's working on it, but I actually love the wife. Like, I do.
That's wonderful.
She's
Yeah.
great. Like, she's awesome with the kids. I really do.
Is she good about respecting like your specific boundaries that you have?
Yeah, she
That's
really
nice.
is, and we talk about it because she's been through it. I mean,
Yeah.
she's been through a divorce before,
That's
so
nice.
she understands. And but yeah, I actually do. I really love her. She's awesome with the kids. And
That's all. You can't ask for anything.
yeah, I
more
couldn't
than
ask for a
that.
better stepmom for them. But as far as emotions or anything, when I see him, I am happy that he seems to be doing better.
that's good.
And I'm happy that he's working on building consistency with the kids,
Oh, that's good.
because that is the most important thing to me, is rebuilding that trust with them. So as long as that's going on,
Yeah.
I'm good. It's when slip-ups happen and their hearts get broken is when I'm
How did you
resentful.
How did you deal with initially, if you would have any resentful or any feelings of anger towards him? Did you do anything specific to kind of
Like for
help
me,
work through that, or
I used to get anxiety because he did not go to rehab right after the divorce. So
Okay.
that took about 2 years. So it was supervised visitation, and we would, meet at a restaurant, and the kids would play, or we would meet at a pond and they would go fishing and stuff like that. And I would try and step back a little bit, but Maddie was a lot younger then. She was 1. So I would always just take a deep breath and realize that I needed to control my emotions for the kids and not get so upset or angry or hold that in front of them. Let them see that, I'm okay with it. I'm right there for them, and we're getting along for the most part.
is that something you felt like being in therapy helped you kind of work through, or is that something that you really just kind of had to?
Therapy.
I'm a big advocate for
Yes.
therapy. I feel like if
Yes.
everyone in the world had a therapist, there would be world peace. I'm
Yeah,
convinced.
yeah.
They're like everyone would be happier.
Yeah, they would
You know?
learn how to process emotions and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
look at things differently. So that helped me out a lot. If we were at the pond and they were fishing, I would sit in the car and I would just watch from afar and let them do and breathe and work through it.
It sounds like you've offered them a really stable, emotionally stable.
Yeah. I try because I grew up with a single mom, and my dad was completely non-existent. So I really try for them to let them learn how to process their emotions and stay in therapy, and I want their dad to be present if it's what's best for them.
Yeah.
And if he seems to be like he's more capable now, or working towards that. And so looks different than it did a couple years ago.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's bad for them. Like you said, to see too, like him trying to better himself and you know, see those positive changes. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure that's not like the desirable situation, but you know, that's cool that they get to see, you know, maybe they'll have more compassion for, you know, for others that they see like that, or just for situations with themselves too.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of routine or schedule in your house? It's like, I mean, and the reason I ask is because, like, when there's two parents, it's like, okay, you're giving the baths while I'm making
That's exactly
dinner,
what we,
you know, like,
yeah.
how do you do that?
Well, now it looks different.
She has a boyfriend now.
Yes.
Serious one, not just we meet on the weekends.
Right.
He's a good guy.
Right, he is. Now it looks different. He'll get up and he'll help me, but before it was just me. Wake up in the morning and it's chaotic. You know, trying to get them all ready for school and out the door or on the bus at the correct time.
While you're getting ready for work.
Yeah. While I'm getting ready for work. Most of the time, I will get dressed, no makeup, go with my hair wet, and put my makeup on at work in the morning.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, whatever works. But yeah, so that's our main schedule in the morning, and then pick them up from school, get home, try and make them do their homework. Takes a lot of, not yelling, but encouraging.
Yeah.
And then I'll fix dinner, or we'll go eat, one or the others, and then try and put them to bed. We're working on going to bed around 8, or at least getting settled. You know, so the baby, or so Maddie, because she's just now sleeping in her own room, and that's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sleeping in her own room and by herself. So I'm trying to get her on a schedule. Still working on it.
Would you say, I mean, each age has its own struggle to it, but would you say that it does get easier as
It does. Well, depends on the situation. As far as, you know, the toddler age, it's all no and mine and throwing things. The teenager age, it's stomping your feet and huffing and puffing.
rolling eyes?
Slamming the door.
Yes.
I got my door taken off one time.
Oh, I took her door off.
That pissed me off so
At
bad.
the old house. I did. Because the litter box, because I converted the garage at my old house into the older girls' rooms when my niece was living with me, so 16 and 14, they shared the garage. And the cat litter box was in there with them because they wanted a cat. They can take care of it. And they kept shutting the door and leaving the cat out of the room. And the cat would pee on the couch. So I took the door away.
It smells so bad. That's smart. I mean, I think that's deserved.
Yes. Took the door away because, you know, after I repeatedly told them you can't keep the cat out of her space too. So the door went away. I mean, she has her door now because we're in the new house.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I don't know that I would have thought of it.
Yeah, no, that's smart.
Yeah, it helped. You know, I mean, they never changed in the room anyways. They all went to the bathroom to change, so it wasn't like me really taking their privacy away.
Yeah.
It was just eliminating an obstacle that I was getting tired of.
I'm sure they still hated it just as bad.
Oh, they hated it. They hated
It's
it.
the thought of not having privacy. You're like,
I didn't tell them I was taking it away. They came home from school and
It's
the
just
door
gone?
was gone. And so I left to go pick up Maddie from daycare and came back and they put a sheet up. And I was like, nope, that has to go too.
Oh gosh.
Oops.
I think at the same time you wanted to give your kids a dual parent household that you didn't have.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, don't kick yourself for wanting that
Yes.
for your
yeah,
kids.
no.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, not that I'm getting divorced or that we're in
Right.
that space, but I used to be not understanding towards people that I would see that would stick in situations, and I'd be like, why are you being so stupid? Like, why are you like, why? But now I see having a husband in my own family, it's not that easy.
No,
it's
yeah.
not, it's not the same as when you're, as when you're dating. Like, you're forever connected to that person. You have a child together, and it's just not the same.
It's not, yeah.
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 You try everything you can to make it work. And
Until
you just have to hope that the other person is willing to put in the same amount of work.
Yes.
But
yeah.
there does become a point, though, sometimes where it's actually easier to just like be a single mom than to be a single mom within that marriage.
Yes. Yeah.
Where you feel like your husband might be
Taking
one,
on-
or the wife
Yeah.
might be an extra child.
I have a friend who told me that she, I was like, you seem to be doing so well. Her and her husband are getting divorced. And she's like, it's easier and better for me and for my daughters just to let them go. And we just, we'll work through it. Same thing. They're going to do therapy.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's easier.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
And on the flip side of that, some of us do give up too easily.
Yeah.
And
true.
have those regrets of, and I'm not just talking about me specifically, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just our culture right now to just go, well, I'm done. Let's
Yeah,
just
I'm just
find
gonna
a
divorce.
three-year-old
Let me just
lifestyle.
file it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
The people, when they're like, oh, this isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. But you've
It
got
never
two
is.
totally different people who think different things, you're not always going to agree. That was one thing actually with my husband, that when we dated, when we first started dating, well, we were both very stubborn. So we both had to learn to back down, because there was some
compromise.
knockdown, drag out fight. Ooh, it was not good. But he thought that we should never fight. He even said that, he goes, if we were really a great couple, we would never fight. And I'm like, that's the most
That's not how it works.
unrealistic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And that took him a couple months. I was like, you don't just give up just because you have a fight with somebody.
It's
like,
how you get through the fight
Yeah.
on the other end.
yeah. And he thought that was like strange. I'm not sure why he thought that, but
People have their own ideals of what a marriage should
yeah,
be.
yeah.
There's actually a really great book with backed by studies that show, you'll see couples that you're like, how are they even together? All they do is fight, but it's not that they're fighting, it's the way they fight that matters.
Yeah.
And some of those couples that never fight are the first to get divorced because they're not.
They don't let their feelings out and
Dealing.
stuff like
Yeah, they're not dealing, they're not working through it. And, yeah.
Bob used to not want to talk either, and I have taught him so well to communicate that sometimes he doesn't stop talking, and that's more annoying to me now. He'll be like, he'll be like, don't you walk away, we're supposed to talk about this, and I'm like, I'm tired of talking about this, I don't want to talk about it anymore. But it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Do you have any other closing tips or anything that you can think of, or words of encouragement or advice? Or
It will be okay.
yeah.
Yeah, just take a breath and do it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
I think my kids, they love both, their dad and stepmom, they love me. But I think they respect me differently than just because they have seen the struggles and they have seen the extra efforts that I've made, or the things that I gave up
Yes.
during that time that I couldn't do until they were older because I was a single mom. So there'll be that too. I mean, not
Yeah.
that you are desiring it or that you expect it, but
No, acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
They'll see it.
14-year-old for sure really sees it. She really understands things now much more than she did when it first happened when we were 10, or she was 10. Yeah.
You said when we were 10. I was like, whoa, young mom, teen mom.
Very young
That's
mom.
a preteen mom. So, well, thanks for coming on today and
Thanks for
talking with
having me.
us. And we're actually going to have another video with her too. So
Yes.
y'all stay tuned. And subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Instagram and Facebook. And like this video. And any comments or questions you have, put them down in the comment section and we'll answer.
Yeah.
So,
did you want to leave any comments about the makeup contest?
oh yes, you guys, go on to the original post on our Instagram. You need to like us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you're entered. And you get to win all this free makeup and skincare and hair care products. And you get extra entries if you tag friends on the Instagram. I'm sitting here trying to remember. If you tag friends on our Instagram,
Or comment
or
on
you
YouTube.
comment on our last YouTube video, which is the 10-minute mom makeup. So do it.
really important because
Yeah.
I'm noticing that we've got a couple subscribers. A lot of people are commenting, they're liking, but they're not subscribing to the YouTube. So you will not be entered unless you subscribe.
And we're checking. As much as I don't want to do it, I am going to check it to make sure that you follow the rules. Because I won't let you win on principle if you didn't do it. Yeah.
Follow through.
Yeah. So cool. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks, guys. Cheers.